Hello, my name is Michael Gibson. I am the host of the Norm Therapy Show. Welcome back. This is our fourth episode, and today we will be discussing your betters. Your betters are probably the reason for most of your problems in your life. And I don't necessarily mean your parents either. Your betters could consist of people in your school, at your workplace, even your home, your siblings, your cousins, acquaintances. When people consider themselves better than you and you give them access to you, they will ensure that you know that they are better than you. And this begins a cycle of self-abuse as well as maybe mental, psychological, or physical abuse from your betters. There's an old saying that people want you to do better. They just don't want you to do better than them. And you have to pay attention to that in life. Self-preservation is the number one factor in anyone's life who cares about their life. Some people were never given a measuring tool to understand their own self-preservation. So above all else, self-preservation to them is not only number one, it's everything. So they'll do whatever they can to you to either hurt you, destroy the people around you, destroy your support, and destroy your future. Why do they do this? Your betters sometimes have inferiority complexes. It's almost as if, let's say your betters were your parent and they were also your worst enemies. They taught you up to a point. Let's say you're 18 and you just finished college. Well, you're just going to college and they want you out the house. That's when let's say it probably began. But what they're actually doing as your betters, they're saying, we've done the best we could. And you're supposed to somehow feel satisfied by that. And then on top of that, it's almost like you're at their heels. They've taught you so much throughout your years. They taught you enough to where you can get to college and hopefully get through it. But they want you to do well, but they just don't want you to do better than them. Why? Because there's no comprehension for what exists that's better to them in their minds. They don't know what's better for you. So they are reluctant to teach you because they don't know. It isn't your fault that you don't know about situation awareness, about your finances, about some of the life lessons you should have learned at home, but you didn't. It is not your fault. And oftentimes, it's not their fault either. If you don't know until you know. That's literally how life works. If you don't know, you won't know until you know. Now, according to this podcast, you know. Now you know. And when you know, you can do something about it. This is where we all fall to the wayside. We fall flat on our faces because we don't know what to do about it. If our parents or our betters did not know what to do with the next step, how will you? I would say that norm therapy is all about life skills. It's not just surviving life. Hell, we all do that every day. That's not it. Norm therapy has to do with helping you shape your own normal. Not my normal or anyone else's normal or your parents' normal, your normal. You have to look for what's normal for you and not what's been the norm. The norm for you is to accept the bullying, to have your betters put you down and you believe them and you agree with them and you self-deprecate, you hurt yourself, you speak lowly to yourself, you treat yourself like a second-class citizen internally while you people please to everyone on the outside. People pleasing to me, when I walk into a room and I meet people, there are those who, hey, Michael, how are you? Great to meet you, fantastic, blah, blah, blah. There are those, hi, how are you? Good to meet you. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll get something done. And then there are those, oh my God, how are you? It's a pleasure seeing you again. Oh, you look great. Okay, can I get you something? Listen, I'm going to grab you a piece of cake. Bring it over here to you. I'm going to get that coffee. Do you like that coffee? Really? Okay, great. I'll take your coat. Let me put it over here as well. And on and on and on. This goes on. That's not to say that these are bad people. They are not. These are oftentimes very good people being hurt. And when you see a person overly pleasing everybody to the point of exhaustion, normally that's a sign that there's abuse somewhere. Somewhere in their life. Their husband is abusing them, their children, the school, the boss, their past trauma of abuse. They may have been raped early on in life, but it's always an abuse, underlying abuse there somewhere. And also, it oftentimes translates into self-abuse as well. You'll see oftentimes self-abuse accompanied with another kind of abuse. Why? Because they have, as we said in our earlier modules and podcasts, what we've explained is when you start to condition yourself to believe the lies, to understand that it's okay that somebody hits you in the mouth or talk down to you or speak of you in front of you without regarding you. These types of disrespectful and terrible atrocities that they commit onto you. We made it clear to you in earlier episodes that when you condition yourself to that kind of low level of existence, and you become that lowly thing, what you're actually doing is telling everyone else through your people pleasing, through your allowing them to bully you and take advantage of you and hurt you, you're allowing them to further condition you into that behavior, and that people pleasing becomes your attempt at saying, I don't want this person to not like me. I don't want this person to give up on me. I don't want this person to abandon me. I don't want this person to hurt me, so I'm going to please this person, whatever they want. Okay, what can I do to keep you? And you don't even know me. But you've been so conditioned to do it to everybody, just in case. This is the problem. Now we're starting to see. I'm not saying that every people pleaser out there, I am probably saying that, but I'll stop. Okay, let me back off. Most people who people please have been abused. And if they haven't been abused by someone, they are abusing themselves. Normally, if you're ill-equipped for life, you will get taken. People will abuse you. It's just that simple. Human nature, fit of the fittest, the winner takes it all, I'm the king of the road, the king of the house. That mentality that most other people possess. And when you come along with low self-esteem, you have low self-worth, you have no understanding of the outside world outside of the bubble you grew up in. And that bubble is just connected to many other bubbles in your community and around your community. And pretty much that entire area of your life pretty much think the same way, unless they find their way outside of their communities and bubbles and those tentacles and out into the real world during their educational advancements, maybe their master's or PhD program, and they find this different level of maturity, different level of seeing things, different aspects, different perspectives. And that's what makes them different. But you go back home, you oftentimes say, whenever I go back home, I seem to have outgrown everyone. Yes, you did. That's exactly what happened. But even if you went out and got a PhD and a master's and 3 honorary other degrees, that doesn't really mean anything if you don't know how to use them. If you can't apply those to everyday circumstances and situations, you can have 15 degrees and all you'll just be is smart in the books. But if you can't practically applicate it, it won't work. So at Norm Therapy, we tell you that you have no betters. You don't. You have no betters. No one's better than you. We don't look in terms of what's good and bad and right and wrong at Norm Therapy. We look for what's useful and what's useless. Period. Whatever's useful, whatever's useless, as we'll put it in that column. It could be good for you, it could be bad for you, it could be mediocre. We don't care. All we care about is what's useful and what's not. And if you start looking at your life in these parameters and terms, you'll find quickly that it'll be easier for you to make decisions within the conceptual framework of the decision-making process. You will find that it's better to detach yourself emotionally from negative situations occurring and think pragmatically. You'll find a lot of things that you're better than your betters at once you apply yourself. And we help you do that at Norm Therapy. Either providing it therapy or teaching it to you. Either way, you're going to benefit, depending on what course you take with us, of course. We're all about building. We're growing a global network now. We're training NTIS Norm Therapy intake specialists around the world. It's exhausting, but we have some amazing people doing it. And the first group we call our pioneers, I actually trained them myself. They hated me. Not because I was a bad guy, because I left them to fend for themselves. And now they brought that same, I can do this. I can make this happen on my own. Michael gave me a task and now I'm not just gonna do it well, I'm going to blow his mind. And they've done that. They're doing some amazing work over there. We have an amazing organization, amazing people. I love the word amazing too, so you'll hear me say it quite a lot. Find yourself by being better than you. You find that inner voice, that id, that ego, that super ego. You find your inner voice, that little girl or little boy talking to you, and you start listening to him. Make that your better. Make your inner voice your better. Try meditating, try praying, try thinking out loud, try thinking to yourself, try applying some of the lessons you've learned, try listening to others instead of speaking. Try speaking about only the things you know something about. And watch who becomes better, and you're betters. Very few. People will always want you to do better in life, never forget it. However, they never want you to do better than they are doing. No one wants to see you surpass them. And the few people on the planet, or let's just say the small percentage of people on the planet who want to see you do better than them are normally your parents. And if they're not your parents, you better find a mentor, a friend, or someone, your big sister, big brother, to look up to for the rest of your life. So you know that they'll have your best interest in mind. Some of you are incapable of understanding what I'm talking about because of Dunning-Kruger, the Rosenthal effect. There's so many things I could teach you about this. But Norm Therapy does much better. Well, it is what I've created, but we've got a format that I think you'll be comfortable with. Life skills are what's lacking in most of us. And our world is going to hell in a handbasket unless we start applying some of these life skills and lessons to how we treat each other in our society as well as our future. My name is Michael Gibson. I've had fun with this, and remember, you are your own better. Listen to that inner voice. Thank you, and I look forward to our next episode.